on You.
Welcome back to You Live. We're joined on the couch by Lily Richards from Unity Books in a segment that we like to call Lost in the Land of Lily. Whether you like it or not, read the maths in the key, but whether you like it or not, that's sticking. That title, Unity Books and Lost in the Land of Lily.
I'm alright with it.
You're okay with it?
Yeah.
Nice. We'll get you a sting one day, and then it'll be very official.
I'm looking forward to a sting.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. What have you brought in for us to review this week?
Right, well, you did kind of reveal the eel before by showing the book,
of course.
but that's alright.
Yeah.
I do like doing this a lot.
It's quite nice.
Pretend it never happened. Pretend it never happened.
Do you remember American now?
Here it is.
American.
Look at me, Jennifer Egan. Look at me.
Look at Mo.
Jennifer Egan, we were just talking about that before because you thought she sounded a little familiar.
Sounds very familiar.
She is the author of The Goon Squad, which won the Pulitzer Prize last year. The Pulitzer Prize is the All-American Fiction Award.
Yep.
I think they have other awards.
They did journalism as well, I think.
Journalism, right. But she won it for the fiction, and it's kind of like contemporary American fiction wins it that really describes the kind of the tone of contemporary America.
Jonathan Franzen won it, didn't he, for Corrections?
Oh, did he for Corrections? Yeah.
Not for Freedom. He
No.
certainly got overlooked for Freedom.
Yeah, he got really overlooked. Interesting. Anyway, so she took that out, and they were compared a lot, The Goon Squad and Freedom. But this is it's an earlier book of hers.
Okay.
It was published in 2001, in January, early 2001. And that's important because a lot of this book is actually quite eerily prescient towards events that happened later in 2001 and then onwards. And essentially what it is it's the story of two Charlottes, a younger Charlotte and an older Charlotte. And the older Charlotte is a model in Manhattan, and she has a horrific car accident and has to have complete facial reconstructive surgery.
And when you make your living on your appearance...
Exactly. And so this is what Jennifer Egan does, is she plays on cliches, and she kind of pushes them and chases them down the rabbit hole until they don't even look like themselves anymore.
Yep.
But what's really enjoyable about it is it's great reading about a model. You know,
like... Oh, we
really
got a lot of model
reading.
shows on New Life. They make for very, very interesting television and books.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of
It's a fascinating
America's
world.
Next Top Model. It's,
Totally.
yeah, very, very visually appealing and easy kind of to take in.
Yeah.
So she does that, and you kind of, so you get hooked really easily, so it's a really easy book to pick up and kind of keep going with.
Cool.
But it's interesting in the sense that it does kind of play around with the notion of what happens to you when you lose the one thing that you're relying on, and, you know, what happens as well in a world that's kind of reliant on superficiality. When you lose that part of you, how do you then develop something else?
And it goes deeper than the standard American shows who dress their host up as like in a fat suit and send them out onto the street for half an hour to make them, you know, feel like the common fat person.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
It's not just that cliche. They actually develop it.
She's an incredibly intelligent author, so she has this way of kind of writing that's really edible, but at the same time you feel like it's quite nourishing, so you know, you're learning as you go.
Cool.
But I always have this thing, I feel slightly guilty if I'm really enjoying a book. Like if I find it's easy, I think, oh, this is not worthwhile.
Yeah.
You know, that horrible kind of snobbery. The snobbery of actually enjoying something and thinking that because you enjoy it, it's not doing you any good.
Would you get down for the Hunger Games?
Oh no, I'm going to let everyone else do that.
Rose Matafeo, she swears by it. She says, yeah, obviously it's pointed at teens, but for a good reason. It's very, very enjoyable, a la Harry Potter.
Right.
Not Twilight, forget Twilight.
I haven't read Harry Potter or the
even read Harry
or anything, no.
I'm a Harry Potter crusader. I think I can go back and read that at any time, at any point, any of the books you can pick. I just think they're absolutely amazing. But I get what you mean about feeling guilty about fiction. You're just like, oh, if it's usually, then maybe not.
Yeah.
But she toes that line.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, there's a cool thing. Eggers does this great introduction to David Foster Wallace's Infinite Jest, where he talks about how that exact problem, like if you feel like either a story is easy and enjoyable, so therefore throwaway, or it's deeply academic and really technical, and you're just kind of like, it's painful to get through it, but you really feel like you're a better person at the end of it. And then sometimes you get a book that meshes the two worlds together seamlessly, and you come away having enjoyed something and also having learnt something. And this is one of those.
You do learn a lot about Quidditch in Harry Potter, though, which you wouldn't necessarily have learnt about otherwise.
If I said the Golden Snitch, you wouldn't even know what I'm talking about.
Blockers and Seekers. And, you know, I'm just saying sometimes not.
No, I appreciate that. Malcolm Gladwell's another good one for that, for just taking academic subjects and making it really, really digestible and making you feel smarter for reading it, not trying to prove himself as intelligent. He's like, he wants to take you with him. And I remember Jonathan Franzen, who I mentioned before, like his best quote ever for 10 things you should remember if you want to become an author, is that the reader is your friend. you can't be a dick and like totally just keep it dry and boring, you know?
Did he come up with that after the corrections?
I think after Freedom.
Yeah, because the corrections is
He was not your friend?
difficult. No,
Okay.
no.
All right, we're going to check out a music video, but we'll be back after that with Lily. What are we going to go to, Matt Gibb?
Just a little bit of visual candy, really. This video, it's your equivalent of a simple, fun, easy-to-read book that you're not going to get a lot out of.
Don't feel bad about enjoying it, though. Visual candy is great.
But it is an enjoyable video nonetheless. OK Go with Here It Goes Again,
it's
the one that
fantastic.
really kicked them off into...
The treadmill one.
Exactly.
The video clip that catapulted OK Go into superstardom. Here It Goes Again. They tried to follow it up with a couple of others. They've done the one in the car. And they're all good, but there was just something about never having seen them before, really, never having seen that before.
It was always off the back of that video rather than the next video being just as amazing. Although the Rube Goldberg one was pretty amazing. Did you see that one? You know the Rube Goldberg machines where there's like a series of intricate...
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah, that one was pretty good.
Oh, but it's hard not to love a Rube Goldberg machine.
What's a Rube Goldberg machine?
So, like, you boil a kettle and the steam sets off a balloon which then falls down and pulls out a bowling ball which rolls along a pin and then knocks over some 10-pin bowling things and then it goes on and then eventually it cooks you some toast. Completely unnecessary and elaborate, but incredible.
Is that the name given to a set of circumstances?
I imagine
that
Rube
right
Goldberg
trigger
was the
off?
inventor.
Right.
Yeah.
Sounds like Pee Wee Herman.
Is that... I didn't watch a lot of Pee Wee Herman. Is it very Pee Wee Herman, Matt?
I guess it is.
Isn't there like
Was
a
there a
weird
Pee Wee
series
Herman?
of... I think
It's
there's
like a weird
set
series
off
of things.
series.
Yeah, set off series.
Rube Goldberg, look at that. This is
Okay.
some of the best videos on the
We'll do a
internet.
Rube Goldberg episode of
Yeah,
Your
we
Life.
definitely will. We definitely will.
Lily is back talking more books. So what I want a number. I like to make these things tangible. Out of 5, how many stars would you give?
Do you want a sting, Tim?
Look at me. I'd love a sting. Do we have a sting?
Well, we've got a sting that works for almost everything.
This is like Mission Impossible.
This is exciting. This is one I made and it took a long
Right,
time,
ready?
so I appreciate it.
Awesome. Out of 5.
Out of 5.
Oh, I hate doing this, and you know it. Maybe like 4, 4.5.
Wow. So on the upper scales.
It's an enjoyable book. It also happens to be the New Zealand Listener Book Club book of this month, of April. So if you want to read it, start reading it now.
Yeah,
the
and
listener.
you and your mum can have awesome conversations about
Yeah, and then also, do you know, I was thinking about how cool this is, but the book club thing, because I was on ferry and there was someone opposite me and she pulled out a book and I always look at what people are reading.
Yep.
And I thought, well, what if it had been that? And I thought if it had been that, and we both knew that we were reading for the Listener Book Club, we could have struck up a conversation.
Yeah, that's a really
This could
cool
be the great
thing.
equaliser, people.
Yeah, that's
if you
the
see
one.
someone else and you're reading it, you could just approach.
Hello. Want to talk about Jennifer Egan?
Yeah, because you would. The other thing I wanted to say about this, and I was sort of intimated that she was like freakishly prescient.
Yes, so you said 2001, obviously, what, the World Trade Center attacks?
Yeah, right. So this was published she wrote it between 1996 and 2001, finished the final edit on it in January 2001. There is a character in this book who is a member of Hezbollah, Lebanese terrorist, and he goes into America as a sleeper. And the story about him is complicated and beautiful and kind of quite eerie.
Yep.
But he has this intense desire to destruct and to destroy on a huge scale.
Okay.
And this is pre-September 11th. This is pre that kind of mass awareness of the Muslim, Middle Eastern, Arab world wanting to use their religion, you know, against America.
Becoming the new communism.
Yeah, exactly. So this is totally before all of that.
Wow.
And there is a weird sense that, you know, that she was kind of forecasting there. And there is also a character that approaches the model at one point, suggesting an internet-based system that you'll look into. And there is a huge Mark Zuckerberg moment. You're like, oh my gosh, this, even the description of the man, of his sort of shadow self, the way he appears, and he says that he really feels, you know, that people, and I can't remember this verbatim, but that a system of internet kind of relationship blogs where people mainly communicate via images and photos and share about their lives could really change
and she was
the world.
writing that potentially in 96, 97.
Yeah. And she does this. You read her books, even Goon Squad, you can read it and you kind of have to fully forecast because it's actually set in what would be to us the future, but you can kind of sense, really, this is where our society is
more
going.
than that, go and get 10 grand from your parents, figure out the best idea from Goon Squad, and then go and invest your money in that.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So there's a few kind of interesting bits in this book. But yeah,
Totally.
go on and check out the Listener website. It's on the Listener website, and there's a whole lot of information about this.
Oh, nice. Thank you very much for coming in, Lily. We will see you next Monday.
No worries.
And now, more very, very easily digestible pop music. We're polling Actually, can I quickly get your moral take on the poll that we're running at the moment?
Just something about, I don't know either of
Oh, this isn't
songs.
that's okay, but the other one that we're going to do.
No, I want your moral opinion on this. What do you think is the catchiest song?
Ethically, I don't know.
Go with the loser.
Party in the USA. Or
I had to go
Call
with
Me
Dart
Maybe.
USA because that wouldn't fit.
Yeah.
Is it Miley Cyrus?
It's
Totally
Miley Cyrus.
is.
And then that's
pass. I don't know either of
that's
those
Canadian
songs.
Miley
Okay, well, how
Cyrus.
about this one then?
I keep it.
Well,
Well, it depends where I am. Like, if I'm, if I'm near somewhere and it's
You're in a
obvious.
bank and you've got a gun. No. It's outside Ponsonby
you
Road.
mean
It's on the ground.
how likely you are to get caught?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, well, no, yes.
Yeah.
But if I'm on the street and I can't see anyone that's
Yeah.
connected to it, I totally keep it.
Yeah, it's $100, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't, like, if I dropped $100, I wouldn't go back to that place and expect to find it.
No. Cynical view of the world, though. You don't put much faith in humanity and $100 bills.
No, I think we're governed by money.
Oh, there you go. Look, good to know where you stand. Great to know where you stand on the $100 bill.
Leave any money near
So
me.
no, I won't. We're going to check out a bit of Miley Cyrus now. Incoming limp handshake, yes. I did an awkward handshake with Jeremy from She's So Rad.
Yes, it's really
it's quite
gross.
limp, eh? It feels weird.
You're all damp as well.
Jesus. We're going to go to Miley Cyrus, Part of the USA, in an attempt to bolster her support because she is getting absolutely decimated by Kylie Rae Jepsen. American Miley Cyrus versus Canadian Miley Cyrus.